Do you want to be on camera?
I don't think I need to.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today is the day you've been waiting for. Today is the day that's been making you lose so much sleep, has been keeping you and your kids at bay, restless, not able to focus during your day, during the school day. Today, we're going fishing. Bum, 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 bum. So it's a little chilly right now outside. Not too bad. I got my hoodie on. I was not able to wear my Crocs. Boom. Because if it gets cold out there on the water, or like we're gonna be on the boat, if it gets cold out there on the bank, then it's no fun. So we're doubled up on clothes. I'm wearing regular shoes. Let me show you real quick what we have in the trunk. Like I said, those fishing poles that break down are really good because you can fit them in your car. So this is a Honda Accord, small trunk. There is our awesome Academy fishing pole. We're going to be fishing with that today. These two red ones are Carlitos' is for, like I said, he likes the red and blacks. We have my chair, his tackle bag, mine of course, and then we have Carlitos right here. Can you look up and say hi? Cheese. So I was contemplating which pond to go to because, like I said, I go to a lot of ponds and I go to a bunch of big lakes. For some reason, I think with lakes, there's just fish all over the goddamn place. And if you're limited to the bank, it's a lot harder in my opinion. So I like ponds because they're smaller, so the fish are more concentrated. I think it's a little bit better at catching something if they have less place to go. So I think we're gonna go to College Pond, and it's got an actual name. I forgot what it is. But I'll put a link to it up here. Usually for the ponds that we go to, I give them nicknames because it's easier for the kids to remember, right? If I tell them, oh, West Creek Pond or something, like West Creek what? But if I give it a name that they can remember, then they'll remember. So if we go fish and they're like, hey, where are we going to go fishing? And I say, oh, we're going to go at, Bass Pond or Clear Pond. Then they're like, okay, yeah. This one, I'll tell you the story when we get up there. So we got the car loaded up. We're going to go ahead and head out. We do have our worms that we're going to be using, and like I said, I'll show you when we get up there how to use the worms, how to put them on a hook and stuff, and then we'll go ahead and get started with that. And on the count of three, we're going to end up at College Park. Ready? You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody, we're here at, it's called Calicut Student Park, but we call it College Park because it says Student Park, College Pond, I'm sorry, so we call it College Pond just because it's easy to remember. Like I said, kids can remember it a lot easier that way, and we usually do that wherever we go to new places. We just kind of, I don't know, look at the features and say, okay, what do we want to call this one, and we just go with nicknames. It's a lot easier for the kids that way. So funny story, right? So for this one, it started off College Pond, and then I brought my grandson here, and this is a funny story, and I can say grandson because I have more than one, so that way nobody knows which one I'm talking about. But we brought him out here one time. He loves to fish too, and he liked it a lot, right? So of course all the kids like fishing, and so we brought him out here, and there's no restroom out here, right? And the closest fast food place is not very close at all, or a gas station. I mean, it's 5 or 10 minutes away. It's kind of a pain, but anyway, so we get out here, and he's sitting there sucking down fruit juices like it was nothing. I'm like, dude, you gotta slow down. You can't be drinking that much. Man, kids don't listen. So what does he do? Oh, I gotta use the restroom. Now it's getting dark, and I'm like, come on, man. How bad do you need to go? Can you hold it? No, not really. So then we remembered we got a cup in the truck. Maybe we don't need to go to a restroom, right? So think about it. I'll let you finish that story. Peacup Pond is what we were gonna name it, but we ended up just changing it or leaving it College Pond. So here we are. This is what it looks like, just to kind of show you what we're dealing with. We fished down there before, right there in the middle of the frame. See if you can see my shadow. Not really. So it's a pretty big pond. I mean, we've had really good success with the catfish here, and perch as well. I haven't seen any carp. I like catching carp because they put up a good fight and they're kind of super easy to fish for. And then the parking is really close and there's always plenty of it, so it's up there. So let me go ahead and get everything set up. We usually get our chairs set up, then our poles, all that good stuff. So I'll get back to you in just a second. Here we go. Okay, so remember, like I said, whenever you put your poles up, make sure you have it to where you're not going to hurt nothing, fall over, hit nothing, whatever. So there's just like a routine that we have. We'll come out here, set your chairs up, get our poles ready, and then just start fishing. So it's kind of a race to see who actually can get their stuff put together first. The starter kit, we're going to use that. We're not going to use nothing else. I have the worms down below, and that should be it. So it should be fairly quick to go ahead and rig everything up. You've already seen how I tie everything on. Not super hard. It's very windy. I'm hoping that the microphone isn't picking up all this wind. I kind of have it under my hoodie, and then like I said, I have the foam tip on it, so hopefully it's blocking out all that wind. If it isn't, I'm so sorry. We're gonna leave that bobber stop on here, even though we're not gonna use it. We're gonna leave it on there because, like I said, you can use it some other time. So that's kind of the beauty of it, that once you leave it on there, like I said, it lasts you forever because you don't really need to take it off. The only time you need to take it off is, you know, if you lose it, if you have to cut your line or whatever. Look at that, my fingers aren't working for me. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna take out our hook. Same as last time when we first did this. We're gonna use, now these have barbs on them. These are the dangerous ones. These are the ones that'll get you. So Carlitos is a good, maybe 12 feet. He's back there, 12 feet away from me. Crap, I heard something. Again, don't put this in your mouth. Don't do what I do. Do not do what I do. Not gonna be big enough for the Palomar. So again, we go to the other knot. And usually I can get tied up fairly quick. Within 10 minutes, I'm on the water. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 5. These fish aren't gonna be very big, so I'm not too worried about them pulling the knot loose. 5, and then tighten it. And then wet it too if you have to. And then boom, we're done. Come on. My fingers are cold. It's like they don't want to work for me today. Okay, we're gonna take our bullet weight. Oh, my hooks fell out. That's what that noise was. We're gonna take our split shot, not bullet weight, split shot. We're gonna put that. So there's my hook right here. We'll go about right there. And again, since we're not going very deep, or I'm sorry, since the fish aren't gonna be very, very deep, this one's closed. That was probably the one I used last time. Yeah, because these other ones are opened up. So we'll use this one. This one's okay. This one's opened up. The Pac-Man is open on this one. So again, put it in there. That should be good. And then I'm gonna take out my pliers. And that's not my pliers. Yeah, they are. My needle nose. We're gonna pinch that. Closed. Boom. So it's on there. See that? Split shot hook. Now we go for the float. So I'm gonna be about, we haven't fished this particular spot, so we'll go 12 inches. So push it, hook the bottom. Push it, hook the top. And like that, we're good. We're set. Carlitos just threw his line out. God dang it. How did he beat me? Probably because he didn't have to set up no equipment. So there we are. So I'm gonna grab the worms real quick. I'm gonna put one on here. We'll chunk it out, see what we find. So apparently, Carlitos caught something. And he thinks he's better than me because I ain't caught nothing yet. So let's see what he got. So that's the bell that you hear on his pole. What did he catch? That's a good catfish. So he's using bread. Look at that. That's a fat boy. Look at that. Here, let me hold your pole. Grab your BOGO grip. There you go. And just pick it up by the handle. Hold it up for the camera. Always take pictures. Pictures are the cool part. Pretty good fat catfish. And then he'll just use his new needle nose he got and he'll pull the hook out. That's all she wrote. So again, you don't need a whole bunch. We're out here fishing with worms and bread, like literally bread from the store. Today we brought hot dog buns. Funny, but it works. Out here, if there's a bunch of, you see all those ducks and geese and all that good stuff, if you see a bunch of those, that means people come out here and feed them. When people come out here and feed them, guess what? The fish eat whatever falls to the bottom of the pond. So if you got these jokers out here eating all this bread off the bottom, and you throw bread out there, guess what? They're gonna be like, "Oh, I got another meal," and they'll take it. And you just saw what Carlitos did. No joke, he threw that out there, and boom, he caught a catfish. I'm over here skunked so far, but that's okay. Not everybody's gonna catch something every single time. But a couple things just to tell you. So, like I said, whenever you throw it out there, if that float, it was white on the top and then red on the bottom, if it's sitting sideways, two things: either it's not deep enough, and so you have a lot of slack between your bait and the float, or the weight that you have on there isn't heavy enough to weigh down your float. So like right now, mine is sitting sideways, and there's nothing wrong if it doesn't have enough weight, and that's why. But if it's too shallow, that's when you want to change it out, because you don't want it dragging across the bottom, because then all of a sudden you get hung up. Another thing you want to do is when you're out here, like today it's super windy. The wind is crazy, so it's blowing this float back into my face. So I get a good 2 or 3 minutes, and all of a sudden it's back over here. Like I said, that wind's pushing it over here. Watch your float. Whenever your float is out there, watch how it moves with the waves. You'll kind of see a rhythm when it's out there. Like it'll just be like this. So that way, whenever it does something different, if it's going like this with the waves, and all of a sudden it goes boom, 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 it's a fish, because it's not doing what it's been doing. So that's the kind of stuff you want to watch. That wind will play tricks on you, because you'll think you have something. No, it's just the wind blowing your float up and down. So usually when you come out to a new place, you'll kind of just, whether it's throughout the day or each time you come, try a different spot. Move 30 feet down the bank and see if they're biting more. Like right here, they're not biting as much for me here as they were down there the last time we came. So maybe there's something down there that they're attracted to that's keeping them biting over there. True story. Please be careful. Right here you can see the bank kind of slopes down to the water, right? So be careful with your chairs, especially when it's windy like this. I had another grandson, I'm not going to say it's the same one, fall towards the water, because I guess it was windy and maybe he wasn't paying attention. He fell. Thank goodness he didn't fall in the water, but it can happen. So just be mindful of that. Another funny story, and I'm not going to say any names. One of my sisters, when we were kids, we went fishing with my dad again. And you remember those old school aluminum folding chairs that had like that I don't know, crosshatch pattern fabric made out of plastic? We went fishing, and next thing you know, that folding chair is falling forward. A certain sister of mine, she's gonna be mad at me, watch. The face plants into the water, bam! She was young, maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. Landed right in the water, boom, muddy and everything. Everybody freaked out and stuff. So it does happen. People are going to fall over, especially when it's like this. You're not going to go to any pond or lake where it's completely flat and then there's water. You may, but it doesn't happen quite often. So sometimes you do see where the bank kind of slopes. It can be kind of dangerous. It kind of keeps you on your toes. Just be mindful of that. You don't want kids falling in the water. So here come these ducks, right? Let me see if I can get them on camera for you so you can see what I'm talking about. These freaking ducks. You see them? So be careful. They're pretty smart. They know, believe it or not, when you're fishing. And if they see your line, they'll know to kind of step over it. I have, on one occasion, I was at Lake Arlington, and I was out there. Me and Carlitos were fishing at the end of a pier, right? And we go out there, click it, boom, click. And we get out there, and this family comes out there, and they're throwing bread right where we're standing. And I'm like, I know y'all see me standing over here fishing, how are y'all gonna sit there and throw the bread like right by my feet? They're throwing bread right here. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So here come the ducks. Here come the geese. They're sitting there eating the bread, right? They just want bread. They don't care. And so next thing you know, my line, and it was braid. So braid, like I said, is made out of that. They're just braided line. It's made out of fibers, and that stuff is strong. Like this stuff, it'll break on you. But that braided line, oh my God, I was so mad. I'm sitting there fishing. The dumb duck comes up and gets his neck caught around my line. I'm standing there. I pull it. Freaking I got the duck by the neck. He's freaking out. He's flapping like crazy. I'm like, oh sweet Jesus, that done hooked me a duck. What am I gonna do? Luckily, it was just like I said, it was just wrapped around him. After he freaked out, the hook didn't get him. The line just wrapped around his neck. But it still freaked me out because I was like, oh God, please don't let me get that. Because what's gonna happen if I put a hook in this duck? What am I gonna do? I'll probably end up cutting the line, but then now this duck's got this hook stuck in his neck. Or foot or whatever. So just like I said, for the most part, they're smart. They know better. They're not going to sit there. I've actually seen them swim across and then step over the line whenever I'm fishing. So they know what a fishing line is. God dang it! Look at Carlitos, thinking he's Jimmy Houston. He's just trying to show off. Let's see if he has anything. Let's see. You got something?
Yeah.
Ah. Look, I'm telling you, it's all about placement. It depends where you're throwing. So he's using bread, and I'm still sticking with the worm. Some days they want worms, some days they want bread. The catfish, they're gonna go for the bread for sure. Like I said, just because every single time they love going for what's down there. So he's actually throwing out there by that island. God, that's a big one. So, yeah, he is fat. So, like I said, there's some catfish out here. Look how fat that thing is. Look at that stomach. God dang. I bet you. And look, there goes the hook again, right in the corner. Not corner, but on the lip. It's not in his stomach. That's the important thing. But make sure you weigh them. That way we can see how much they're.
Oh yeah, get your.
How big they are. So here I am with my worm, and it's not because of what equipment I'm using. It's because these fish just aren't biting right here. So with that, I'm probably gonna move. I'll move a little further down. Let's see if I can catch something on the other side. Yeah, I can see the line getting tighter. Watch. See it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, you gotta time it just right. Come on. Come on, fishy, fishy. Got him. I got you, fish. Catfish. So, it's a little bitty one. So lesson learned. So with this, I kept doing float, float, float. I tried 12 inches, 16 inches, 18 inches. Nothing was hitting. And I'm over here like, what the crap? How come I can't get anything? Nothing's biting. So I was like, you know what? Let me switch. Like I said, sometimes you got to switch it up. So now I found that they're actually deep. They're deep in the water. So this is the catfish. There wasn't any perch, bluegill, nothing like that. So again, same thing, same combination. The only thing is I took the float off. The float, the little round plastic white one. Took that off, fishing off the bottom. As soon as I did that, I started getting little nibbles. And then what you'll do is you'll watch your line, and your line will start getting tight, and then boom, you set the hook and you got them. So that's off the bottom. We'll throw it out again, see if we can catch another catfish or whatever else we can get. Okay, cool. Let's throw them. So this is what I was talking about when I was saying the contrast of the pole. So if you look at the tip of mine and then the green pole, you can kind of see it pretty good, right, with that contrast with the background. If you look at Carlitos' pole, the black pole, it's really hard to see that tip. So now that it's getting dark, kind of have to go by the rod tip as far as any kind of indication of a bite. He does have a bell on his, so he'll be able to hear it. Once it gets a little bit darker, I'll probably switch over to a light, which makes it even easier to see. I really don't do bells just because I can see them just fine. Now, if you had your head down and you're looking at something, watching your phone or watching videos or something else, then yeah, by all means, put that bell on there and put that light on there too. And like I said, they're pretty cheap. It's $20 or 20 of them for like $10 or something. So anyway, we'll see if we can catch another catfish before it gets too dark. I'm not sure how dark I can fish and still pick it up on VGO, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Check that out. Look, I think we got one. Reel it in. Yeah. So you hear that? You hear that drag peeling? I mean, you hear that? That zzz? That means he's a pretty good size one. So he's pulling off that line. Oh, okay, he's there. Ooh, I thought he came off. He went loose quick, dude. He must have been way out there. So that drag, like I said. Do we cross? Yeah. So I crossed Carlitos' line, unfortunately. Jeez, how in the world did he get hooked? He's upside down. So that was ugly. So I crossed Carlitos' line. That's my bad. So I made two changes on this one. I did the I went up a size hook because the other one swallowed the hook, so it was deep in his mouth. So I went up to a bigger size hook so it doesn't go all the way in, and it hooked him on the lip, and then fishing on the bottom again. So really the only thing I changed was the size of the hook, and then like I said, he didn't swallow it, came out of his mouth, but I did cross Carlitos' line. So you see, when you throw it out there, even if you're fishing off the bottom, all you have to do is watch your rod tip. If you're using a float, you watch the float. So it really just depends. So we'll go ahead and get this dude back in the water and see if we can catch another one before it gets too dark. Cool. So here we are. So now it's nighttime. You can't really see your rod tips very much when it gets this dark. So now we have the lights on there, the little LED lights. So that really helps you out to where you can actually see any kind of indication that you're getting some nibbles or bites. I think it'll go crazy. They're super cheap, so like I said, go ahead and get some if you plan on doing any fishing at night. But yeah, it's dark. Like I said last time, when we come out, we're out here for a while. We're not out here for just 10-20 minutes and then gone. There was a guy down here fishing. Man, he was there for like 15 minutes and then bam, he took off. I'm like, dude, you barely did any fishing. So I don't see anybody else down there. I think it's just really us. But it's starting to get cold. We'll probably stick around just for a little bit longer, just to see if we can catch one more, at least one more, to make it worthwhile. So I caught 2 catfish. Carlitos caught 2 big ones. His were ginormous, but he's using bread. So we'll see. Hopefully we can catch another one before it gets too dark, before my battery dies on my phone. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that. That's when you know you got a fish. So let's go. I said they're not bad. They're biting. They're just on the bottom now. They're not on top. So turn on my trusty headlamp so that I can look like a miner, like that lady said. Freaking punk. That's why I'm over here catching fish. Punk, baby. Another one. So hopefully that's showing up. That's a little baby catfish, right? The kids don't care. Kids, as long as you're catching catfish, kids love it. They'll have a blast all day long. Hey, look, I still got my worm. So if you catch them good enough, I mean, they're not going to take your worm. That's what I said. Sometimes these worms will last you, the whole fishing trip. You ain't got to worry about nothing. And like I said, they're not even very expensive. That's a little baby. He ain't gonna do nobody any good. He ain't going on nobody's table. But like I said, they're still kind of fun to catch. So we'll get them thrown back in so he don't get hurt. And so what I'll usually do, I hold that with my arm, grab the hook. Come on, careful. I don't want him to get caught in that line. Pull it out, put my pole down, and then I don't know if you can see that. I usually grab, you can throw them in like this, which sometimes I do. But then if he fins you, you're getting finned. So I'll go ahead and transition from my hand to the pliers, and then just throw him in, and then he's good. Boom. That's it. Bam. I think that's gonna be it for today because it's getting really dark. So we'll shoot. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. We'll go ahead and pick up back in the car here in a minute and close it out. Cool. Back in a minute. I wish people driving by are like, what the crap are they doing in there?
I know.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go and get out of here, get headed home. It got cold on us. Carlitos caught a couple of big ones. I caught a couple small ones. We're freezing, so we're gonna go ahead and get home. The next video is gonna be bread, like using bread for bait. That's what Carlitos was using. He was killing them. Over here, we can kill them on bread. So we'll do that, and we'll see what kind of fish we can pull out. If not, we'll go to Pappy Elkins pond and we'll catch some carp. They got some big ones over there, so we'll try that. That way you kind of get to see the different ponds that we go to. So until then, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping by.